Hello and welcome to special edition number 10 of Headline Heroes, a comedy podcast where we take today's headlines and create a comic book origin story, usually. My name is Drew Mick.
I'm Nathan Haynes.
And
I'm Tanner Ackerman.
Didn't know you were doing that. All right.
No, what are you talking about? you mean Tanner here with both of us?
Oh, yeah, I see him. Hey, Tanner, what's up?
Hey! Oh no, my house is blowing away. Be right back. Oh, shoot, his house blew away, I guess.
His house is gone. Oh, look at that.
Yep. Oh, there. I saw him go by in Minnesota. Yep. Ah, fuck. Well, I guess
Guess it's just you and me?
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to do an episode by ourselves.
Ah,
Which wasn't the plan initially. So I'm
that
gonna
wasn't
throw
the
out all
plan at
these
all.
great ideas I had for superheroes. So next week when I don't have any good ones, that's why. It's because I threw them.
Well, I don't think they're going to work next week because it's kind of a weekly thing.
Fuck, you're right.
Fuck. Sorry.
Oh no, Drew, no, don't leave me. I can't do this alone. If you die and Tanner's house flew away, I can't do this. The podcast is dead.
You can't do this solo?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've got bad allergies right now, and I'll do the best I can. No Tanner. So it's just you and me out here, and we're gonna do something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really
but also
different.
a little the same.
Little the same. It was a while ago. It was
Yeah.
probably back in March. I want to say that we had a streak of special editions, and you and Tanner did one together where you watched an episode of The Simpsons. I believe it was Radioactive Man or something like that.
That's correct. Yep. Milhouse becomes Radioactive Man comes to film a movie in Springfield.
Yeah, and you guys watched that and did some commentary on that. So we thought it'd be kind of funny, since I'm such a Simpsons head myself, that if we did one that's The Simpsons together, right? Yeah. Except that was a joke. I didn't really watch The Simpsons. I didn't really. Yeah, that wasn't a part
You're a
of my
real
childhood.
simp nut, which is what we call ourselves.
That's disgusting.
Listen, don't kink shame, okay? This is a safe space for us.
You're right.
So yeah, Drew, of course, the episode we watched is You Only Move Twice. It's an episode from season 8. It's the second episode of season 8, actually.
One of the better seasons, as I understand.
Mm-hmm. It is actually very good. Season 8, as you know, kicks off with the second part of the Who Shot Mr. Burns episode. So it was I have to imagine it was among their most watched episodes.
I may have seen that one.
I mean, it was one of those, like, it kind of, okay, granted, I was, 5 years old when this aired, so I certainly wasn't watching it at the time, but my understanding was, like, that episode, it was sort of like the season finale of Friends.
Yeah.
Like, even if you weren't really a Simpsons fan, like, you at least knew what was happening, because it was like, I don't know, it was, maybe I'm just...
Even I had heard
biased.
of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, also spoilers, wasn't it Maggie?
It was Maggie, and they did have actual clues in it that were pointing to Maggie itself or herself. And they so I've listened to the episode commentary on all the episodes for at least the first 8 seasons. And so they do talk about the stuff they put in there. And they actually did have one guy, somebody guessed it correctly, but they could never and pointed out the evidence. So it wasn't just like, oh, what if it was Maggie? It was like, it's Maggie, here's why. But they could never get a hold of him. Like, it was on a forum post or something. So
yeah.
But that's not why we're here to talk about.
No.
We could talk about that one, but that's not the one we watched. We watched You Only Live Twice, You Only Move Twice, which of course is a reference to the James Bond film You Only Live Twice. And so, this is probably one of my favorite episodes, and I just thought it would be a fun one for us to watch. And I know you. So, Drew, I guess right off the bat, you said you're joking. You're not a huge Simpsons fan. What did you think of this episode?
It was fun. And what's more is, like, I was kind of surprised. It kind of had a moral to the story at the end of it, but maybe I'm getting ahead of it.
Yeah, you're always really good at, like, reading into like the hidden meanings. So, like, I'm excited to see what the moral was that you sort of picked up on.
Yeah, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
But so like last time when Tanner and I were doing it, I think we just like dove right in and just sort of started talking through basically just what happened in the episode, and then just sort of having a laugh at some of the jokes. Is that
let's
about
do
right
it.
for
Let's
you
do
this
it.
time too?
Yep.
So we open, of course, on Springfield, and we see Waylon Smithers walking down the street. That, of course, is Mr. Burns' assistant at the plant, Mr. Smithers.
Weasley guy.
He's a what? He's a what now?
Isn't he kind of?
What do you mean by Weasley?
I don't know. He's always got that like. Does it? Well, he's got. I don't know. He's got that like snide voice, right?
Mr. Burns.
Yeah,
Something
that's
like
what
that.
I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's him. I guess, Weasley. Yeah, I guess if that's what you mean by Weasley, then yes, that's him.
Okay.
I sort of always attribute the word like Weasley to me always seems like sort of like slimy a little bit, like sort of
no, that's not what I mean at all.
He's a perfectly nice guy.
Mr. Burns is more the Weasley guy. I don't know.
Yeah. So he gets a limo pulls up while he's walking to work, and singing a little song. You remember that song? He's kind of singing to himself. It's blink and you miss it, but it's there.
No,
remember
I did not catch. I thought I must have blinked.
Yeah. What did I tell you? Eyes open. Get that Clockwork Orange device, and you watch this whole episode.
And you watch and hear. You hear with your eyes. No, what was the song? I didn't.
Oh, he sings this little like song about how I work for Monty Burns. Monty Burns, and he's very happy about it.
Hey, you know what?
Which is
it's hard to get like good. Like you gotta like what you do.
Mm-hmm. And he clearly does, because a limo pulls up and offers him a job at a new place called Globex Corporation, and he turns him down several times, and then he gets flustered and he says, what's wrong with this place? Can't somebody walk down the street without being offered a job? Which was funny because like sometimes it's hard for people to get jobs.
It's funny because boy, that's really not the case. Am I right?
Yeah, so right.
Oh yeah, job searching kind of sucks. Wish that would have happened to me. Happily employed now.
Now you're safe and secure up in the city. Up here.
Yes.
So they are, of course, dejected, and the people who offered him the job, because he doesn't want it, and so they go into their little file folder and they look for, well, who's the next most senior person at the plant that we could hire, and smash cut to Homer telling his family that he has a new job, and he's very excited about it because he can get better pay and better healthcare for the family, but it does involve moving to a new city. But Homer's excited because he says this is get him one step closer to his dream that he's sort of embarrassed to talk about. Do you want to say what his dream was?
Something like folk singing of some kind.
You keep blinking, I guess, but you're like vaguely close in that he wants to own the Dallas Cowboys, and I guess the Cowboys are in Texas, so like
they were known for singing.
Mm-hmm. So they liked singing down there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So he tries to get them. I'll move a little quickly through this. He tries to get them to watch this promotional video for this place called Cypress Creek that he wants to move, and it's funny because it goes through this video of these two people saying like, looking at this rundown town, like, wow, look at this place. It's awful. Why can't somebody make a town that works? And then they said somebody did. And so it shows all these buildings being like renovated and made new. Like it'll like show the old building, and then it'll like sort of blur into a new building. And then it does that a couple of different times, like old ramshackle thing to a coffee shop. And then it shows a homeless man and it turns it into a mailbox.
Gotta say, I laughed out loud a few times, but this one really sticks out. I really laughed out loud at that one.
I think it's really funny just because I don't know. It's as true as it was then is today. Like people, like just the idea that like people are, I don't know, just it's so callous about homeless people. I don't know. It was just good. I mean, that's not good, but the joke of like, yeah, people would be so happy about there being a fucking mailbox there.
I was doing something with my job, and like at one point I was working with someone and we were scouting a location, and he was just like, yeah, you might want some security to help keep the and he paused. He's like, yeah, characters out of here, and he's like looking across the street at someone who's I was like, oh geez.
That's about the kindest way to say it, I guess.
Yeah.
So they look at this montage, and they agree it's probably better than where they live right now. They decide, so like they try and sell their house, but no one wants to buy it. But do you remember who comes to their door to try to kind of fuck with them at that one part?
Burns.
No, sorry. You cut out there. You said Apu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apu comes and he does a little bit where he's like, he pretends to be like, he's like, I don't actually want to buy your house. I just want to look through all your shit and like look through your magazines and then not buy anything. And
little weird of Apu to do that. I feel like he's always the helpful one, but
yeah, I think he's just sort of sick of people's shit, coming into his Quickie Mart and just not buying anything.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I didn't catch that.
So one little other thing is, so they ended up actually just saying, well, we're just going to say our house. They put a big sign on the front of their house that just says abandoned because they figure even if they sell the house, they can't pay for the mortgage. So they start packing up all their stuff in a U-Haul kind of thing. And they actually talk in the commentary about how it's actually the hardest part of, and I think we can sort of relate to this a little bit. The hardest part sometimes about writing is coming up with like weird names, like weird knockoff names for things.
Yeah.
Like you can't say U-Haul, but you can't just say like pull box. Like you can't just, you have to come up with sort of a funny U-Haul adjacent name or like brand adjacent name, which I think is hard for us to come up with names for stuff too. So I remember they were actually pretty happy with what they named the U-Haul equivalent. Did you catch it?
Well, just along with that, that's why I have a great appreciation for Bob's Burgers and their intro.
Dude, yeah.
Like how many mouse puns can you have, or rat puns?
Well, you got the place next door that always just has a different business, and then you have that car that drives by, the van, the
exterminator or something like that.
And the burgers, like, damn, we just watched an episode about how Bob can't think of a burger name, and I was like, I don't know how the writers do it all the time.
Do you have the Bob's Burgers cookbook? I thought you did. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
I think we do. That sounds like a thing that we have.
Yeah, that sounds like a thing you'd have. Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me to learn that Libby put that on the wedding registry at some point, and then we got it over the course of all the.
How can you not remember every single thing you got at your wedding?
No. You see, the problem is that she would go to bridal showers, and I don't go to those. If I was asked to, I would, and I did go to one, but largely they're just for the bride, so I didn't go.
I'm sorry. What? I'm not married, obviously. Yeah. How many bridal showers?
How many?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it varies. It's kind of just really it can vary. It depends. The thing that we had was like Libby's got like, so her family did one, my family did one.
Oh,
and then it's complicated, but her godparents put one on basically.
Oh, okay.
So like there were 3 separate ones that ended up happening.
Gotcha.
It kind of just varies based on like family sizes, and like maybe you have a big friend group and the friend group wants to put one on for you. Like it's just kind of it's a lot.
That's fun. Good stuff. Good flick. Yeah.
But we're getting distracted here. So as you did you see maybe you didn't catch this one. Did you see what they put on this thing that say U-Haul?
Oh, I'm gonna go get some coffee real quick.
Oh, okay. Guess I'll drink some coffee while he's gone. Monty Burns.
All right, that's much better. Anyway, go on. Your description is going so I'm loving it. You're doing such a good job of this.
Oh, thank you. Well, I feel you ever do that thing where you ask a question a couple times and the other person like doesn't hear you, and then you just have to like say you feel awkward asking a third time. That's kind of where I'm. So of course on the side of the U-Haul vehicle it says Lil Lugger.
Yeah, and that was another time that I laughed out loud.
Wow! Oh wow!
Yeah,
you always love those like little tiny jokes.
I don't use the term "lol" often, but boy, did I hear.
I wish it would be used more. I wish we would use it a little more.
A little more?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
they pack up their car in the little lugger and they get going to Cypress Creek, and they do, of course, the quick like. So what's interesting here is when you must have seen when they're going out of town is they do the thing where like everybody in town is basically there saying bye, bye, bye. Like they all say goodbye and they wave. And so what the writers were saying is what they were attempting to do, because this is back in the early days before like, you had a super big internet community, was they were like with a lot of information about production and all this kind of stuff, was they were trying to make the fans think for a minute that the family was actually going to be moving to a new city to like basically do like a refresh, to try and keep things fresh.
Yeah.
So they actually, they were trying to make people think for just a little bit in this episode that maybe they were actually going to be in this completely new place. So it's kind of, that's why they did the whole like, goodbye. And
that kind of changes that for me. Like that episode. I mean, obviously I know going on that they stay in Springfield, so I wasn't like expecting them to stay there, but that's kind of fun.
Yeah, you can imagine at the time, like, I mean, it's just like, because now, of course, I don't want to get into spoilery territory. There are things that happen in movies where you're just like, well, I know that this isn't actually going to matter because I know that,
they have scheduled
this guy
a
has
sequel.
signed on for four movies or something. Like, I know that he's going to be back. Like,
yeah.
But like back then, you maybe wouldn't have had that information. You could be like, well, I don't think they're going to actually have him leave Springfield. That'd be pretty crazy. But like there would still be a seed of doubt. Like, well, maybe, I don't know. But they get into their new house. Of course, it's a super nice house. Like a lot nicer than their current one. And like who comes right away but their boss, his new boss, Hank Scorpio. So this guy is voiced by I can't remember, of course, off the top of my head. Al Brooks.
Al Brooks. Why does that sound familiar?
He's Marlin in Finding Nemo and Finding Dory.
Oh, okay.
He's in a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, he's got that voice. I hear it.
And I mean, you just heard it when we watched it, so like.
Yeah, but I didn't associate it with Marlin.
Yeah, that's true. So, Hank Scorpio, he comes and he brings him a fruit basket, and he's kind of a wild guy, isn't he? Like apparently a lot of his work was ad lib, just because Albert Brooks is just a funny, smart guy. My favorite joke here is he says, "Do you like my moccasins? If you do, there's a pair upstairs for you, and if you don't, then I don't like them either. Get out of here, moccasins!" And he throws his moccasins out, and he goes, "Homer, have you ever seen anybody say goodbye to a shoe?" And Homer he does this, like, it's just a good delivery. He goes, "Once," and it's just like, what does that even mean? So that's how we're introduced to Hank Scorpio, and smash cut. Well, probably not smash cut, but cut to Homer's first day at this new Globex Corporation. And so the thing we're going to have to, I'll try and keep it brief here because everybody does sort of have their own mini storyline, right?
Yeah.
So we'll start with we'll just jump around a little bit, but so the first day Homer goes in.
Oh, the Homer side story is maybe my favorite of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's where the most of the meat is for sure.
Yes.
You might even call it you could even call it the A plot.
The main story.
Yeah. But
there are these
we're all
other
side
distracting
stories
side stories, but
life,
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said we're all side stories in somebody else's life.
Yeah, who can't help but play Skyrim and be like, well, I guess I got to go over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've all been there.
Fuck off. Shit. Alduin.
No. Alduin's the guy you're trying to kill, right? What are those guys up at the top of the mountain called?
Oh, hold on. Is it Alduin?
Alduin is the dragon.
Yep, it definitely is.
Well, that's the one you're trying to kill. There's also
fuck off, Alduin.
Parthenax.
I'm gonna go over here and collect cheese for this person.
Yeah, important. I gotta go get a bunch of cabbages. My cabbages. So Homer goes in and they have some fun interactions as Hank Scorpio sort of introducing him around the plant. Another good moment where he asks Homer to hang up his coat. Homer looks around. Of course, there's nowhere to hang up the coat. And so he looks back at Hank Scorpio and he's just like, haha, that was just a fun joke. Besides, I didn't even give you my coat. And you look at Hank Scorpio and Homer's no longer wearing holding Hank Scorpio's jacket. And Hank Scorpio is wearing his jacket, but backwards, indicating he must have put it back on very quickly. So it's literally on the front, the back of the coat is on the front of his body. It's
yet another laugh out loud moment.
So he takes Homer into this little office where there's three guys who are working, and he says that Homer's going to be managing these three guys. And Hank gets a phone call where it seems like it's a troubled phone call. Something's gone wrong. What does he? This is where my notes aren't helping me here. What does he say is wrong?
The chimps got loose.
Now, I'm.
That's what I wrote. I don't know. Maybe I misheard it. You know what? I might have misheard it.
Okay, hold on. He says, Homer, I have to go. Somebody ate my lunch. And he looks around very suspicious. Did you maybe hear something like ape?
Yeah.
Ape something?
That must have been it.
Drew, are you okay? Hey, Go see a doctor. I'm worried about your
These
hearing.
allergies, I tell you what, are fucking killing me. It is the worst. Yeah.
Another good quick moment. Homer starts to try and manage. He literally just says, "Hey, are you guys working hard?" And they say, "Yeah." And he says, "Could you work harder?" And they say, "Yeah, you bet, sir." And then they just start typing faster. And he looks very pleased with himself.
Yeah.
So smash cut to we're going to go over Lisa's storyline here a little bit. Lisa's just having a great time. She's exploring the woods, and a couple of things happen to her. First, she meets a squirrel, and she loves the squirrel, and she keeps walking a little bit, and she sees an owl, and she says, "Hello, Mr. Owl." And then she starts skipping and singing a little song, la la la, and then you see the owl swoop down and pick up the squirrel and kill it. It's a good moment.
It's funny. So the Lisa side thing might be my favorite of the yeah.
Oh, so you gotta switch from being a Homer fan.
Oh, did I? No, I mean the Lisa one. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're just gonna kind of skip a little bit. Hers is, hers is probably Lisa. The shortest, but has the most heart. She ends up also smelling a bunch of flowers. And Drew, what happens to her? You can relate to this. What happens?
She starts sneezing.
Yeah, exactly. You got it because you watched it. Yeah. She gets allergies and she's allergic to fucking everything in the forest, and she's miserable.
I tell you what, that's the worst. Feel you, Lisa. I related to her. That's why it's my favorite.
Yeah. See, yeah. You and Lisa cut from the same cloth, I think.
Yeah.
Bart, on the other hand, what Bart's doing is going to school. And so another little behind the scenes thing that is, so they walk into the school and you see the sign. It's like Cypress Hills Elementary School or whatever, and below it just has a website. Is that funny to you?
The website?
I mean, it's just like studynet.edu. Is that funny?
Is that a thing? Studynet.
What do you mean?
Damn, I can't go to that website.
Why not?
I just tried. It's broken. Didn't work.
I don't even know if it's studynet.edu, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
It's something like that, though. But the actual seriously funny thing is they were like, back in 1996, it was funny that a school would have a website. Like, why would a school have a website?
I mean, I think that's the joke.
That was that they were like, I know they in the commentary are like, I know it doesn't make sense anymore. But back then it would have been very humorous, the idea that a school would have a website. Or like it would have been humorous, or like, wow, their school is so advanced that they have a goddamn website. That then like, so it's sort of like a
wait, what year is this? 96?
96.
Wow, that's weirdly. It's not that it didn't age well. It's just like society aged past it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like it's not advanced or cool or funny anymore that a school would have a website. It's just like, yeah, literally like every school has a website now.
Huh. Yeah.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, I didn't even that. I'm glad you pointed that out. That just flew right past me. I was just like,
I'm glad we're doing this because I'm starting to get the idea that maybe a lot of this flew past you for some reason.
Yeah,
a lot of blinking.
It's the allergies.
Yeah, damn.
Also, Tanner's my totem, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
you're really
well
falling apart here. You're not sure if this is a dream or if this is real. So, real quick, We're gonna jump back. We got talked about Bart a little bit. Bart's storyline. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean,
or my favorite
of the four. Yeah. You know what, Drew? I'm starting to get the impression here that maybe you're a big fan of all four storylines.
Yeah, really enjoyed the episode.
Yeah, you loved it, and that's good to hear because I really like this episode too.
Yeah, you said this was one of your favorite ones.
It really is,
and so I wanted to watch it because I appreciate you as a friend.
Well, and I appreciate that you did this for me. Bart storyline, of course, is he goes in and like all these students are in his grade are way more advanced than he is, and he can't he can't keep up, so he gets put in the remedial class with a kid who wants to start fires and a kid who just says, "I'm Canadian, so they thought I was slow, eh?" So he's not dumb, he's just Canadian, and so they thought he needed to go to the remedial class. So he's stuck in this class that's far below his skills, and he can't even get in trouble because all the other kids are worse than him. So that's sort of like his storyline. There's some good goofs in there, but I think we should just in the name of time, we'll jump back to the meat, the Homer. Homer is feeling pretty good about his job. He's feeling like he's motivating people, and they go to downtown Cypress Hills, and they see a sports collectibles shop, and he sees something that he's pretty excited about. What did he get, Drew?
I mean, that's a funny joke in itself. Who collects sports stuff?
I that's what I was thinking. Like, maybe that's one of those jokes that also didn't age super well. Like, or like those things that like maybe back then they did, and now it's just like who would want that kind of crap?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Oh, what did Homer want to buy from the sports collectibles shop?
Probably it was a Dallas Cowboy football.
I think maybe no, it was Tom Landry's hat.
Well, I didn't know who Tom Landry was, so I figured that was.
So you thought it was a football?
Yeah.
Are your eyes sealed up?
Yeah, these allergies, I'm just watering from the eye holes.
Hey Drew, you watched the episode, right?
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Drew, you watched the episode, right? We better just move
on with your story description.
All right, Drew. So Homer goes in. You watched the episode, right, Drew? Drew, why aren't you answering me?
It's the allergies. But what was Marge doing? Let's talk about that.
You know, that actually is a good question. It's kind of hers is probably the shortest storyline you probably picked.
And is my favorite.
I don't know if they just ran out of stuff for Marge. I can't remember. I wonder if they just didn't really have anything for Marge to do. But that actually is kind of her storyline. Is that she is usually the one who's home cleaning the house and making food and watering the garden and doing all the stuff at home. But the home is all automated, so she doesn't have anything to do. So she starts to drink wine, and they try and make it into this huge thing. Well, they kind of mock that it would be a huge thing. So like she sits down and pours one glass of wine and sips it, and there's this big dun dun dun. But then
another laugh out loud moment for me. Yes. I watched the episode. She says,
I don't know. There's nothing for me to do. I've drank a glass of wine a day. And they said, I know you're supposed to drink, doctors say you're supposed to drink 1.5, but I just can't drink that much. So really her story is just that she doesn't have anything to do. And so she drinks a glass of wine.
That's all you can do with that, I guess, with Marge.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
So Homer goes, his team's starting to get a little overworked. And so his solution for that is to get them hammocks, which are comfy and good, can help them get a little rested.
Yeah, I love a good hammock.
Yeah, we haven't broken out the hammock yet this year, but
you have a hammock?
The frame is out there.
I've seen that. I just figured that was used for boat building.
Yeah, I mean, well, what you got to do, get yourself one that you can use for both.
Oh, a boat. Well,
if you get
hammock.
A boat in there, it's sort of like a nice wooden hammock that you can sort of sit in.
Oh, that's so nice.
Not as comfy though.
No, you put a bunch of pillows in there.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Scorpio is on board with this hammock idea. Tells him where he can go to the hammock district. They have a little run here that is apparently Al Brooks like improving this like hammock thing. It's pretty funny. It's good. But before they can finish talking, Scorpio gets interrupted by some urgent business. He has this huge TV that comes out of his wall.
Yeah.
And the TV turns on, and well, who of course is on it, Drew?
This is where the chimps come in.
Well, okay, so Drew, now you shouldn't call the United Nations Security Council chimps. I know you sometimes don't agree with.
There are a bunch of monkeys over there, you know?
I know you don't agree with their decisions sometimes, but you really should. You should have some respect for them.
No, I will not.
So, of course, the United Nations Security Council comes up on the screen, and Scorpio tells them that they have 72 hours to meet his demands, or he's going to use a doomsday device on the east coast of the United States.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. How did you like that twist?
What a twist. I mean, he kind of rubbed me wrong the whole time. I mean, with the last name like Scorpio, like... Pff.
It is kind of like funny. It is like they do sort of set that hint up. Like something's weird.
Yeah.
And to sort of prove he's serious, he blows up a bridge, the 59th Street Bridge, outside of their window on the Security Council side. And they have a little back and forth on the Security Council side where one person says, maybe that was just coincidence. And the other one says, no, we can't take that chance. And the first guy says, you always say that. I want to take a chance. Which I thought was funny.
There's another laugh out loud moment.
Yeah, I bet that was a laugh out loud moment for you, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you laughed a lot out loud.
Yeah.
When you watched this with me.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
I was going to say, you weren't there. Geez, are you feeling all right, Nate?
Maybe I have the allergies.
Yeah. Yeah, let's think about that.
So we cut to a later moment, and who do we see but a secret agent held on to a table by shackles called Mr. Bont. So it's almost like Bond, but they had used T at the end instead of D.
Oh, that one slipped by me too.
I think genuinely they probably just couldn't use Bond.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. They do some other weird stuff sometimes where they're like, they choose not to, in later seasons, they choose not to use the real name, even though like they could. I don't know. Maybe they're fear of litigation, but whatever. But they're doing the pretty stereotypical. Now that the shoes dropped, they're leaning into the Scorpio as a super villain.
I mean, you got it at this point. The cat's out of the bag.
So the laser is doing the thing where he's on the table and the laser is like slowly moving up to cut Bont in half.
It always starts in the worst place. Like
yeah,
going
right
up between the legs.
At least just kill me first. At least kill my brain so I don't have to feel anything else.
I mean, maybe that's the point. I don't know.
They're super villains, so that kind of seems like a thing they'd go for. So now Scorpio walks away does the supervillain thing where he says, I expect you to die. And he just starts to walk away. Now, how does James Bond get out of those shackles, Drew?
Excuse me.
It's weird that you always seem to have to cough whenever I ask you a question.
This is when the monkeys come in.
Oh, well, now he does pull a quarter out of his pocket and he flings it up at the laser and it splits into 4 different ways and cuts off every one of his
That's what I meant.
shackles.
I'm sorry.
Are you saying that George Washington was like a politician and is therefore a monkey?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. He did make some questionable decisions, but he is one of the founders of our country, Drew. So maybe you should have some respect.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I thought. You're speaking out of turn here.
Yeah.
So he starts to run away, and Scorpio yells for Homer to tackle him, which Homer does. So good job, Homer. You tackled James Bond.
That Homer Simpson.
And it's funny, Scorpio says that he thanks him for a job well done and says when he gets home that day there will be an extra floor on his house. So that's nice.
Well, hey.
I know.
That's some benefits that I didn't think I would ever need.
Here's the crux of the episode.
Yes.
We get back.
This is it right here. I've been waiting for this.
All four storylines converge again. And everyone tells Homer that they fucking hate Cypress Creek and they want to go back to Springfield. Marge has nothing to do. Lisa's allergies to killing her. Bart feels like he can't do anything at school. And but the family's like, well, we'll do whatever you want to do. But Homer, of course, he's a good dad. He goes back to Scorpio to basically say that he needs to leave. But while this is happening, the Globex Corporation is like under assault by U.S. military. So like there's like in the background of this huge room in this scene that they're having, there's like guns firing and explosions happening. And there's at one part, for some reason, a woman in like a bikini who is like breaks some guy's neck with her legs. It's like a whole thing. There's a lot going on, but Homer, of course, says that he needs to leave. Scorpio initially wants him to stay, says they'll go. No, stay with me. We'll go bowling. While there's explosions happening in the background. But then in the end, they decide that Homer's got to do what's best for his family. And he tells them that, of course, on your way out, if you wanted to kill some people, I'd really appreciate it. We don't see that. So
no.
Maybe it happens.
But we assume, I assume Homer did.
Yeah, I mean, Homer's bloodthirsty. You can see his eyes just go red when he says that he can kill somebody. It's pretty great. So
that's the episode, right?
Almost. We're almost there.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot
there's
about
a little stinger. There's a little stinger. They go home. Their house is still abandoned. Their lawn is about 3 feet long.
Oh, boy, you hate that.
You hate that. But but can you imagine how good it would feel to cut it all down? Oh, boy.
Yeah, but that would feel pretty good.
There's no greater joy.
Yeah.
There's actually, you see a newspaper that says that Scorpio succeeded and actually did seize control of the entire East Coast. So that is never however
you
addressed.
hate to see that.
But I'm also sort of happy for him.
Yeah. Rooting for him, I guess.
Continuity fail though.
Yeah.
They never address that again. Oh. Like in the course of the show, they never address that.
Simpsons is known for their continuity.
Yeah, I mean, normally every detail is right in line, but this is the one time that they fucked up.
Yeah.
Now they definitely don't have like 800 different origin stories for how Homer and Marge met. So,
do they really?
Well, they do this thing where they're like, all right, Homer and Marge met or like got together at this time, but also apparently they met when they were kids, but also apparently they met at another time in college. Like it's just like, I mean, I'm sort of being a little unfair. It's not always that they met. They just keep like putting in, yes, but see, they did actually have something that connected them before that, like, and before that, and before that. Like, they just kept throwing in connections.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. But little Stinger, he sees that there's a note for him, and it's from Scorpio, of course. And it says that he appreciated that all Homer did for him, and here's a little something from Scorpio to Homer. And what is waiting outside for him?
The monkeys.
Now, I don't know. I didn't know you were such a sports nut, but it is the Denver Broncos.
Oh, see, I'm not good at sports.
Bunch of monkeys out there on the field. Am I right?
I actually thought it was the Denver Monkeys. I don't know much about football.
Oh, I see. You just misheard. You thought when they said Broncos that they actually said monkeys.
Yeah. Yep. I actually thought they said rompos because those monkeys are romping around.
Homer is, of course, sad. He says it's not the same as owning the Dallas Cowboys. And Marge thinks it's pretty good, but Homer sighs and says that she doesn't understand football. And I'll be honest, I don't really understand football, so this joke is lost on me
Fell flat.
to that extent. But
For us who definitely watched the episode.
Yeah, so Drew, I guess give me your thoughts on the episode as a whole.
Well, as I said, it had a good moral, and that's home is where the heart is. You know? You can't you only have one hometown, you know?
Oh, brother.
Homer where the heart is.
I guess I kind of hate that you were able to actually pull out a real moral. Damn you.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew, you didn't watch the episode, did you?
No, I did not. I did not watch the episode. I got real busy.
Drew.
Just really busy. I'm playing Assassin's Creed, you know.
Can we just end this fucking episode? What's even the point?
Well, I mean, I worked very hard, Nathan, to try and make it seem like I did actually do the work that you required of me. But I guess you're being a little whiny baby. And
well, I mean, you did. I mean, I guess in the end, you did get the message anyway.
I mean, it wasn't hard.
The most important thing was
it wasn't hard to pick a moral to the story out of that, and yeah, I don't know.
But but now you get it. That's why I wanted you to watch this episode, because I thought maybe you just needed that moral.
Well, yeah. Also, I've got some other exciting news.
Oh,
yeah. So when we publish this episode, it's not our official episode 69, but it will be the 69th episode that we have published.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Hell
this is number 69. Kinda.
Nice.
Because we had 58 proper, 10 bonus, or no, 10 special editions and 1 bonus. So boom, right there. Brought it home. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll just wrap it up since you just, I guess, have other things to do, and I need to go watch a Simpsons episode. That's on my calendar for tonight. So this has been special edition number 10 of Headline Heroes. Oh, geez.
You got to thank Brett Jacobson.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was just about to go into what I do. All right. Yeah. First off, we want to thank Brett Jacobson for doing the wonderful art for our show. The thing you got to know about Brett. The thing you got to know about Brett is that he's actually a linebacker for the Dallas Rompers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Dallas Rompers.
Yeah. He's not that big. So he's really out of place. But if you watch a game, you'll be able to pick him out. That's the kind of.
I think he could be a good running back then.
No,
Tanner, if this is right, could you tell me?
As far as I know, that they're running back there and they got to be quick. So that's probably right. But the Dallas Rompers, they don't know what they're doing. They're like a bunch of chimps out there.
It's really it's a literal miracle if they ever make a point.
Yeah.
If they ever score a point.
Yeah, exactly.
We also want to thank Carl Sorensen. Carl did all the music for our podcast, and all the post-production of all the audio that he helps us with. Carl, actually, if you knew it, is also yellow, just like the Simpsons. So that's because he's very ill. And if you could donate money to us, that would be very helpful to help pay his hospital bills. If you would like to work with Carl on any sort of musical project, or if you are interested in his yellow disease, not jaundice, it's something else entirely, you can go to carljsorensen.com.
If you have any articles that you would like us to discuss in any future episode where we actually do what we usually do here, send them our way. We have a Twitter at @headline_heroes, an email, headlineheroescast@gmail.com. Facebook group, just search Headline Heroes, and the subreddit r-Headline Heroes. Post them there. It's bumping. We do have a voicemail. That number is 319-596-6766. Give us a call, leave a voicemail. We won't answer, we promise. But if you have any questions, comments, what did you think of this Simpsons episode that you definitely watched, that I watched? Yeah, just send them our way, and we might play it on a future episode. Whatever podcast listening device some app that you're listening to us on, that'd be awesome if you could subscribe to us. And while you're at us, leave us a review, whatever you think is fair. And finally, thank you for listening, and we hope you'll pick up the next issue of Headline Heroes.